Joe here with S3 Archery, and I wanted to come to you today and I wanted to do a product review on the Bear Kodiak. Now this is a bow that I purchased back in 2013, so we are long overdue for doing a product review. So I wanted to get this out there and try to give you guys some more information for anyone considering purchasing this bow. Now as a reminder of the specs of this bow, this is a 60-inch AMO bow, so 60 inches from tip to tip. It is 40 pounds at 28 inches, so at my draw length of 29.5, it comes in at 45.5 pounds. Pretty good weight for me. As far as the wood choices used in this bow, the riser wood is Bolivian rosewood. It has a nice little Purple Heart accent on the shelf, as well as Purple Heart pinstripes up and down the limbs. So just an aesthetically amazing bow. It also has a really kind of nice feature of this bow is it has this nice traditional feather rest. And that's kind of, you know, some people are going to love that, some people are going to hate it, but it really adds to the look of this bow. It also comes with a doe skin grip, and the grip is a traditional high-wristed recurve grip, but it's very, very narrow. So that's kind of a unique thing about this bow, and anyone who grabs this bow is going to pick up on it very, very quickly. It has a very thin grip, which makes you want to have more of a longbow grip on this bow, where your hand gets on the side of the grip instead of behind the grip. So that's really the specs of this bow. As far as the pros and the cons of this bow, the first pro that I really see in this bow is just its beauty, and that is the kind of the calling of the 1959 Bear Kodiak, and that's what this bow is trying to replicate again. It's just a stunning, stunning bow. So be it curves, just the beautiful shape of this bow, and then the wood choices being used in this bow. It's really unequaled in the Bear Archery lineup, and anyone who sees this in person and can be able to take in its beauty just falls in love with this thing instantly. So that's really the first benefit of the Bear Kodiak and what people have come to expect from the Bear Kodiak. The next thing that I really enjoy about this bow and really like about this bow is its use of very, very thin limbs as you near the limb tips. So most recurves have limb tips that are probably twice as wide as the Bear Kodiaks, and one, that adds a little bit of aesthetic pleasure to it, gives it a little bit of an elegance, but two, it's actually very, very functional in that it resists torquing the limb tips much better than any other recurve, which makes this bow much more accurate. Another thing that I've enjoyed very much about the Bear Kodiak is just how light it is. For a lot of recurves in general start getting very, very heavy. There's a lot of mass in the riser, and with the Bear Kodiak, this thing is extremely light. It's probably only a pound to a pound and a half, and I've always enjoyed lighter bows because you can get on target much, much quicker, and it's much less taxing on the archer to have this bow in your hands all day, whether it be stumping, shooting at the range, or out hunting. So those are really the three benefits I found. If there's a con to this bow, if anything, it has to be the fact that this bow is really designed for only up to about a 28.5 to 29 inch draw length. If you go beyond that, it starts to make a very unique sound, a flunk sound. And if you look at any of our other videos of me shooting this bow on our channel, you can hear it, and a lot of people will post comments underneath there thinking it's out of tune or that the arrows are too light, but it's just the fact that this bow is not designed for a 29.5 inch draw length. It can do it, it just doesn't prefer to do it. So to demonstrate that, I'm just going to pull the bow back, and the thing to look at is to look at these limb tips, and a recurve is perfectly designed for the archer if those limb tips at full draw are pointed straight up to the sky. If it ever goes beyond that, the bow's working just a little bit too hard, and that's what you're going to see with this bow. And you can then see how far of a draw length you need to have to make those limb tips go up. So I'll just pull it back at my draw length. Here's 29.5 inches right there, and you can see that those limb tips are slightly past parallel, straight up and down. If I go back down about 28, it's probably about perfect. So if you're an archer who has 27 to a 28.5 inch draw length, I think this bow is going to be perfect for you. But if you go much beyond that, I think there's no way around the fact that it's going to start making that kind of flunk sound. and it might just turn you off a little bit on that bow. But it might not either. It's just something to consider. So those are really the pros and cons of this bow. As far as performance, this bow is extremely accurate. I attribute that to the grip, like I said. This grip is very thin, very repeatable, and that always, in my opinion, makes the archer much better. While it might not be the most comfortable grip if you're gripping it incorrectly, when you learn to hold the grip properly, it's very comfortable, very repeatable, which just means tighter groups and much more accurate shooting. As far as the speed of this bow is very, very quick. We've put this through the chrono numerous times, and every time we put it through the chrono with a 10 grains per pound arrow, this bow shoots at 171 to 172 feet per second. So that's very, very quick. And to compare that, we own bows that are 2 to 3 times more expensive than the Bear Kodiak, and they shoot the exact same speed. So for this bow to be able to shoot that kind of, have that kind of performance at this price range, it's very, very impressive. So overall, that is the Bear Kodiak. You know, this is a bow steeped with tradition. This is made famous by Fred Bear himself. The 1959 Kodiak is unequal as far as its beauty in the Bear Archery lineup. And Bear Archery is a company that you can really stand behind and you can trust. You know, when you buy a Bear Archery bow, you know exactly what you're getting. You know all the R&D that's gone into these bows. The manufacturing tolerances extremely tight, and you can have faith that your bow is going to be reliable, consistent, and a good performer coming right out of the factory. So hopefully I did justice to this video, gave you a little bit more information to think about. If I missed anything, as always, feel free to post comments underneath this video. I'll be sure to get back and respond to those things. And until next time, make sure to shoot straight and have fun out there.